we have a newsletter. We're really excited about it. You can sign up on totesrecall.com. In the newsletter, we talk about things that we already talked about, but in a different way. And also, we tell you what the next movie is. You can subscribe to the Totes Recall newsletter at totesrecall.com.
This month's episode is sponsored by
TerribleOrigami.com.
They put the OMG
in origami. Home of the $1 Million Frog.
Totes Recall.
Ooh, welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we don't remember very well. Then we watch the movie on the television. And then we talk about it again, thinking about things we learned and other stuff, yada, yada, yada. My name is Dan. I have to apologize. I have a bit of a cold, so I might sound a little froggy. And maybe...
I think it's working for you.
You're like, who is this new host? There's a new voice on here.
Yeah.
Get out of here. But no, it's me, Dan.
Molly?
I am the consistent Dan of the show, the one that you know and love.
Not a flip-flopper.
No.
Like other Dan.
Right.
And I'm Beth.
Beth!
Yay!
Yay! And our movie is Chinatown. Starring Jack Nicholson.
Yep. Oh, that was going to be the important fact I was going to add.
Sorry.
Jesus.
It was also going to be the
Who is this new Dan who's just screwing up our whole dynamic?
That's most of my fact.
Yeah. You guys, I've seen this movie, but literally all I remember about it is Jack Nicholson is in it.
Yep.
There's a famous quote at the end that I couldn't tell you what it is. It's kind of dark. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's it.
I remember it's dark and there's a lady.
Yep.
And she's
At least
got
one.
an apartment. And I can kind of picture the apartment pretty well.
Oh, really?
And just real sad things happen. And then, sorry, spoiler alert, you think things might turn out and then it just really doesn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's a
I think.
dark ending. That's your
Yes.
dark ending?
Yes.
I feel like it. And I'll be curious to see if maybe there's a spot in the film, if we imagine it ended, if it would have a happy ending.
Oh, like a reverse African queen.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I mean, I don't remember this movie very well either, but I remember the ending pretty well. Like the ending. Like you were talking about where it's just like, just a sucker punch, like, no, the world is a crushing, oppressive place. And I don't know, I feel like the tone of this movie is pretty steady. Where like even the happy, I put quotes around that for the listeners at home.
Yeah.
The happy ending that happens before the sucker punch, I feel like even that is sort of like, well, at least everyone's like, okay. I don't know if there's really a moment where like if it ended up being like, oh, good for them. It's more just like, oh, at least they kind of figured that particular issue out.
Ooh, why did we pick this movie?
I don't know. I actually
Great film.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's the reason I've seen it is because it's on the
What's
Top
your
100.
guess on Posish?
Hold on. I'm
That's
gonna go off the
Posish predicts.
off of the first list.
First
I'm not
list.
going off the updated one.
No.
The real list.
The real list.
Come on.
I would say 25.
25. Pretty high.
Yes.
Pretty high.
And this is the AFI list, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
American Film Institute's greatest films.
I have no idea where it is. I do...
I'm going to say 50, just to
Say
be...
50?
Oh.
Contrarian.
Yes.
Yep.
Or helpful.
I'll go...
Or sure.
I'll go 49.
Oh,
to block out
Price
Molly.
is right.
You want to be a big jerk?
Do I have to do this too?
Sure, if you want.
What did Beth say? No.
25.
25. I mean, I feel like this was like a go-to of like film, the magic of film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna, I don't know. I figured it'd be pretty high. What did you say? 25?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say 19.
19.
Oh.
Sweet. Stick around for the second half. When those numbers are revealed.
Did you guys...
Or just Google it
I mean,
now.
I'm pretty sure... I don't remember exactly when this movie came out. But I'm pretty sure
70s.
None of us would have been at any point at an age to be allowed to see this movie in theaters.
No, but what's disturbing to me is I know I've seen it in the last 3 years.
Okay.
And I still cannot remember anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also have probably watched it, let's see, maybe the last 4 years.
Nothing.
Nope, just nothing.
I actually
Nothing
do
about
remember
it.
when I watched this movie. This was during one of my intense film periods in my life.
Uh-huh.
In like late high school, early college, and I was just slamming VHSs from the library. Like
Does that mean stealing, or does that mean...
No, watching them. Sometimes I had 2 VCRs in my room.
You know.
Because we were rich.
Yeah.
2 VCRs. And this was the early 2000s when you weren't supposed to have a VCR anymore.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would copy the movies from the library.
Oh, Daniel.
Yeah, suck it. Libraries.
It's like that publicly funded research.
Yeah. But this was definitely a movie we watched. I was like, hey, this is supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
And here it is at the library. I can get it.
Right.
I do remember the ending quote. I feel like we should talk about the things we remember, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole point
That's
of
the whole point of the show, so yeah.
So the line is, forget about it, Jack. It's Chinatown.
I think it's Jake.
Jake.
Okay, I'm wrong. It's not Jack? Ooh, I've been saying Jack for a lot of years.
I'm pretty sure it's Jake, yeah. Yeah, and that line is a sort of succinct way of describing the tone that Molly and I were both sort of addressing of like, you think maybe things are going to be okay, but no, they're still pretty shitty. And then the guy is like, forget it, don't even bother being remorseful. Like, it's just shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's a real
for sure.
downer of an
It's
ending.
for sure a downer. I just want to say, this reminds me that Jack Nicholson did a film called The Two Jakes,
Okay.
which I believe was a vanity project, and it was a film noir.
Not the 2 Jacks.
No, it's definitely not The Two Jacks. It was The Two Jakes. And I remember having an exchange student from the Soviet Union, then Soviet Union, last year of its existence. That was 91.
Little history
Go
lesson.
see that with me at a movie theater. And at a certain point, I looked over, and the expression of boredom verging on agony on her face. And I was like, do you want to go? And we did.
Oh.
I never saw the ending of My Two Jakes. I assume it's depressing.
What if it ended with a coming back to the ending of Chinatown? It was like, you know what? Things are actually okay.
Yeah.
Here's all these characters. Everything worked out.
A dance number.
Yeah.
I won't forget about it. Pulls out a machine gun.
Oh my God.
Blows everybody down.
Who blows who down?
I don't know. The bad guys.
Aren't most of the... I don't even remember, if there are multiple bad guys in Chinatown.
There's at least one.
There's,
Isn't he the
one-
ex-lover or the current lover of the lady with the apartment?
There's a lady with an apartment?
There's definitely a lady with the apartment.
I feel like, and this, maybe I'm thinking of, a different movie, but there's, totally a, abuse.
Is there an incest
Yeah,
situation?
some sort of, abusive
Revelation?
revelation about her...
And her dad,
Dad, maybe?
or brother.
Yeah.
I may have just ruined the movie for you, but yeah,
Oh.
that's a big deal. Oh, you've already seen it.
Yeah,
What am I
we've
talking
all-
about?
We've all seen it. That's
We've
the
all
point.
seen it. But
Have we...
Haven't even
You would
recorded
think
now.
that would
Have we
stick.
done enough? Have we done too many episodes where one of you realizes you've never seen the movie that you just assume we haven't seen the movie?
I've for sure seen this movie,
I've seen it.
I have definitely seen it.
but I don't remember anything that happens
Yeah.
in it.
I have 2 other strong memories I have about this movie.
Okay.
One, he gets his nose busted.
Oh,
No, he
yeah,
gets his
yeah.
nose cut.
Oh, yeah.
Ow.
His nostril cut
Polanski.
by some street
Oh.
tough.
Played by Rowan Polanski.
Oh, wait a minute.
But he's the one who had... Oh, is this around the time of...
Roman Polanski's arrest?
yeah.
Uh,
Isn't it a dude who had sex with
Young?
underage
A
child
13-year-old.
in the
there was
presence of Jack Nicholson or at his house or something?
What?
Not in the presence of...
I don't
no.
think Jack Nicholson had anything to
No
do
one
with
was
it.
present.
I
It
think
was-
he had something to do with it. It was like his house.
It might have been
No,
his house.
it might have been a friend of a friend, maybe. Maybe his house.
It might have been his house.
There was a really good
Dance back.
documentary, though, and it really it showed how the justice system did not serve
Anyone.
him very well at all.
In
Yeah,
that.
or the victim at
Yeah.
all. It was terrible.
I also saw that documentary.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we should... Anyway,
Two
we
doctors.
should talk about it sometime, not now.
Did he direct this movie?
Oh, that seems like a good bet.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's a good bet.
Because that's the name I had in my head before I remembered that he is also in the movie and cuts Jack Nicholson's nose.
It seems like it'd be a weird for him to be in the movie if he didn't direct it. Because he's a director.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively, right?
Mostly. I think he'll pop up, but usually in his own movies.
Yeah.
And one of the Rush Hour movies.
Oh.
Really?
Yes.
Which one?
I don't remember. Clearly one of the ones that was filmed in Europe, because this was long after he had exiled himself from the United States.
Sure.
So as not to go to court for the thing we just talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the second
The
thing?
second strong memory I have is that at some point he goes to some records office or something and needs some records because he's doing detective work because he's a private eye, maybe? I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah,
He's sleuthing.
That sounds right.
There's definite sleuthing, whether it is sanctioned by the state or not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But he can't get the records, so he takes a ruler and he puts it down on the page and then just rips the page out. But the ruler's there and it makes a nice clean cut on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a great
That's
trick.
a BA.
I've used that before to be like, hey, I need to make a straight cut on this, but I don't have scissors, but I do have a ruler.
Uh-huh.
Rip.
Or maybe
just
you
get
used it when you were on your steal from the library spree to take specific pages
Yeah,
from books you
go
liked.
all the art books and just rip out the Monets.
Yeah.
Get all those watercolors or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
now that you say that he's in a records office, isn't like the whole issue, like isn't like all the like all the tufts and the nose cutting, like isn't this all predicated on like some like corrupt land deal or something? Because this whole movie is around like water rights in Los Angeles
it's
or
about
something,
water
right?
rights in LA. I don't know who wants them or has
No,
them.
I don't either.
But that's definitely
Is there a
plot point.
vineyard? I
Maybe.
feel like there might be a vineyard.
Sure, why not? I mean,
Molly's
Or-
bets. There's a vineyard.
because there's definitely like a rich asshole, so there's a good chance that
Yeah.
maybe they end up on his
But I
vineyard
thought
at
he
some
was
point.
nice, but I might be thinking of a totally different movie.
Maybe there's a good rich guy too, as like a balancing thing.
Maybe.
There's two rich
I don't
guys?
think there's any good guys. I'm not even sure that Jack Nicholson's character is that good.
Well-
I think the lady with the apartment is pretty good. Sorry, I don't know her name yet. Is pretty good,
Sure.
but she's not.
She's just like
You know, we
caught
just,
up in it, right?
Yeah, we sympathize with her because she's in over her head and terrible things are going to happen to her probably. Or have happened to her for sure.
Beth?
I think Jack Nicholson's wearing a white suit.
Yes.
There's definitely
White hat.
yeah.
a lot of
There's
white.
definitely like lighter tone suits happening.
Okay.
For sure.
Because he's a good guy? Is it a visual?
Oh.
Is it like a really... It's like a film noir kind of,
It is
right?
a
Yeah.
neo-noir.
It's a neo-noir.
Neo-noir.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It just means like it's in color and
Ew.
wasn't filmed in the 50s.
Okay. Humph isn't in it.
And I'm visiting in it.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like, that's why this movie is, I mean, that's why I knew about it. Like, I knew about it when I became a younger person who was interested in films.
Yeah.
Because obviously this isn't one that's like, I feel like this isn't like a go-to film in like high school
Like Breakfast at Tiffany's.
where your teenage friends are like, you gotta see Chinatown. You know what I mean?
Chinatown.
I mean, maybe some friends.
Yeah, your weird art. film
Yeah, exactly, right.
friend. Yeah.
But this isn't like a Grease, for example.
Sure.
Where just like pop culture has permeated itself into your teenage life.
Yeah.
Why are you cringing?
Well, I don't know. I just am trying to picture in high school, you're like, hey, let's go watch Grease. But I think that actually did happen to you, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it when hey, do you watch it? When does that happen? When does that conversation happen?
Like
Hey, let's
your
go watch
mom
Grease.
says you should watch Grease.
Hey, watch this film about high school kids banging.
Yeah, my mom
we
would
already
not
talked
do
at length
that.
about that, though.
No. My mom, well, that's a whole story that I don't know if that really fits the fact that we're talking about a completely different film. But,
I just want to apologize for getting us completely off track. Let's
why?
try
It's fine.
again.
It's part of the show.
Yeah.
I think our fans know at this point that we'll talk about at least 5 other movies.
So this movie we've established probably came out earlier than we should have seen it in the theater.
My
Yes.
guess is
Great
75.
sentence.
Like
75.
pre my birth, I'm
Yeah.
going to say.
I think it definitely, my memory of it looks like a 70s movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And Jack Nicholson's pretty young in it.
yeah.
For him, yes.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like this is post Cuckoo's
Cuckoo.
Nest.
I think it's definitely
Yeah.
post Cuckoo.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. I'm gonna just say 76.
Go for it. Yeah.
I want to say that those two movies are really close to each other on the list. Because I
Cuckoo?
remember thinking it's weird. It was weird that it was like 2 Jack Nicholson movies in a row. Best bet.
spread the love around.
That's, what was it? Posish predicts?
Yeah.
Position predicts
Position predict.
Cuckoo is near Chinatown.
Yeah.
Well, while we're making predictions, I'm just going to go ahead and guess this does not pass the Bechdel test.
No.
I do
No
not
way.
imagine there are two. I don't even know if there'll be two named women characters.
Probably not. Lady with the apartment, for sure, will get a name.
Lady of the Apartment, yeah.
The other ladies that might show up in the film will probably just be prostitutes.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Well, think, I mean, just with what little I remember of this movie, I feel like half this movie is just like Jack Nicholson walking through the seedy underbelly of Los Angeles. You know what I mean?
There's probably like a...
Man.
No, the dude working the records thing is a dude.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like a dweeby dude.
Sure.
Yeah, I would agree it will fail.
Like, miserably.
Lady of the Apartment definitely has a name.
We don't know it.
Yeah, I feel like there'll be one other named woman. I think there'll be two named women.
Okay.
They will not talk to each other at
Right.
all.
Yeah. There might be like a throwaway lady at some point where Jack Nicholson's like, hey, whatever. Like, it's like one line.
Come
where
on,
he's like,
Doris, give me that information.
Right. Or like he's at a coffee shop. It's like, hey, thanks, Mildred. And gives her a...
She intercepts a bullet or something.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Oy.
Yeah. Fail.
For sure.
Okay, so I still don't know what this movie is about.
No, you're like
I'm
physically struggling to
Yeah,
remember.
it's really. I'm having a hard time because I want to contribute and play along, but I seriously cannot think of anything. I can't even think of at the end. I know he gets out of a car.
Oh, things go badly in the car.
Yeah,
I
bad
remember
things
that.
happen to the car. Or
At
the people
First
in
you're
the car.
like, oh, the car's going to be the getaway, and then it just becomes a vehicle for everyone's demise.
Oh.
What are they getting away from?
Great question.
Chinatown.
Chinatown. They're
they
leaving. They're
just
escaping.
Oh.
He's getting her out. That's what I think I remember.
Oh, that sounds right.
But then there's like some big confrontation at the end, and
Yeah.
somebody like unravels her completely.
Yes.
And then I think there might be a car wreck, or maybe that's a metaphor.
No, there's definitely the Forget It, Jake, is Chinatown is the result of a car moving at a high speed and then stopping its velocity, either because it crashes or because the driver is shot. I can't remember.
Oh, maybe she gets shot.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's sad.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What do you think it's
It's
about?
not
Yeah.
too late to watch Jurassic Park.
Great movie. Let's take it from start to finish.
Okay.
Movie opens with Jack Nicholson.
Probably in his
Probably.
office.
Yes.
He's probably in his office.
Oh, with over
like
voiceover.
Voiceover.
I'm just
Voiceover?
guessing based on,
I was thinking it was like a shot from like it'd be like Jake, Private Eye.
Yeah.
Like through his like
it was a perfectly sunny day because it's Los Angeles.
Can I put a bet down that there's definitely some like sexy like horns sort of permeating under like wide shots of Los Angeles
Yeah,
at some
for
point in
sure.
this movie. Maybe just right at the beginning even.
Sure.
I don't think the word gams is going to come up, but I'll be so excited.
Oh
if
my
it
God, it'd be
does.
amazing.
Yeah, this is a neo-noir, so they talk about stems, maybe.
Oh, sure.
What?
So-
Really?
I don't know.
she comes into the office maybe looking for help.
I don't know if it's that direct.
Yeah,
think he
like doesn't he
finds
just
her.
get mixed up in it
He gets mixed up in
or
it.
something?
I don't know.
Is he okay? So the guy at the end who's like, "Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown or
Yeah.
whatever." Who's that guy?
That's
I
like
don't
his
know.
coworker, but not really. They don't work directly together.
Is it his coworker or is it like the same thing as like the end of
It's
Gotham?
the sheriff or the
like a
the
cop.
detective. He's a
Yeah.
cop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's a cop. Oh, Jack Nicholson used to be on the force.
Yeah.
Oh, ex-cop.
Yeah.
Nice.
Classic PI move.
Oh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you remember why he's not a cop anymore?
Was he a loose cannon?
Because
Something
he
with
got
his wife, probably.
I hope he
maybe.
was
I think
canon.
he
Or
got
that.
disillusioned
Ooh, that's even better.
because you know.
Because they're all corrupt because they work
Yeah.
for Water Guy
I
or
think
whatever.
so.
The
Yeah.
water baron.
Yeah,
I think they were called water barons, too.
totally. Why wouldn't they be?
That's a good word.
It's a great word.
Yeah, is he gonna get paid? Is it like a job?
I think it starts out to be a simple job,
Yeah.
and then it turns out it's way more complicated, and it gets mixed up. In
Like, I think she's cheating on me. Someone says.
No, I don't know. It's definitely a thing where he gets involved in something, and then Lady with the Apartment is definitely like what causes him to spiral deeper into the conspiracy.
Yes.
Though.
Lady with the Apartment, like the companion to Water Baron.
I think so.
Okay, that sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense. in
Does
this
he
movie.
fall in love with her?
Jake,
Yeah.
Kinda.
Do they bang?
that's a great question.
Yes.
Yes.
Best bet?
Jake and
I don't
Apartment Lady
remember
Bang.
anything about this movie. They
You're
totally
going
bang.
for it. Good. I mean, it's the kind of movie where they would bang
Yeah.
at some point.
I feel like noir. Do people bang in noirs?
For sure.
They just like
You
smoke
don't,
cigarettes and like look steamily.
It's implied, though. There's implied
It's at
bang.
least
bang.
implied.
I think it's going to be an implied bang. I don't
Implied
think
bang.
it's going to be. Like,
I'm just to be
a scene.
contrarian. I think they don't.
But there's tension, right?
There's definitely tension
They want-
throughout.
One of them wants to bang the other one.
Jake.
No,
wants to bang.
she wants
She
to bang.
wants to
Yeah?
Oh,
Oh, because she's like so desperate for like real affection.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm a grizzled old man.
I think he
Sorry,
just doesn't want to
baby.
get mixed up in love. That's my remembering.
Maybe.
Because that's why he had to get off the force, because his wife was murdered after a
My
horrible.
God, Dad.
I don't think that actually.
I'll never
happened.
I
live
was going to
again.
say, wait a minute. You're describing every film noir ever.
Yeah. That's why I feel like that's what happens.
It's a good chance.
And I have nothing else to base this off of. So.
I'm really excited by the prospect that we don't remember what's got to be at least the first 45 minutes of this movie. At least the first 45.
I remember barely more than Beth.
Yeah.
I remember nose cutting and the cool ruler trick.
Yeah. I
Forget
remember.
about it, Jack, apparently. I don't even remember that, right? But that's it.
Yeah, I mostly remember the downer ending, and then I only remember the nose thing because you brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. I still don't.
Because there's like classic stills of this movie
Yeah.
are like him with a bandage on his nose.
Yeah.
No.
With like white things in a dusty area.
Yeah.
Maybe like a dusty vineyard.
Maybe a
Yeah.
vineyard.
Or that classic.
There's definitely land that is underdeveloped, and
Yeah.
that's part of the conspiracy. Like this is all about. It's all about land use and water rights. Like that's like the undertone of the whole conspiracy of this movie.
This is why I didn't remember the movie, because how boring is that?
No, because it also involves sexy apartment ladies and crime and
A nose cutting.
nose
Is this-
cutting.
This lady, okay, who, if you could guess who plays this lady, who is it? I'm picturing like a blonde woman, but
Shelley Duvall?
sure.
Sure.
Faye Dunaway. Is that the appropriate time period for Faye Dunaway?
That sounds right. But I don't know very well.
Maybe.
I feel so bad because I'm sure she does at least as good a job, if not better, than Jack Nicholson.
Jackie Nix.
But I just can't place it.
Are we thinking that the main antagonist is like a heavy-set gentleman constantly smoking cigars?
I hope so. With
Yeah, me
suspenders.
too. I also hope so.
He's pretty bald. He's like Kingpin from
Yeah.
the comic book world.
Yes.
Marvel?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, I guess the big question then is, do we think we will like it better or worse? Or, I don't know, just in relationship to what we sort of remember.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna like this movie a lot. More than I did when I watched the first time, which was like, oh, that was fine. And I think maybe I didn't get it, or like I was doing something else
Yeah.
while I was watching it.
Yeah.
Because A, I don't remember it very well. B, like I know there's a lot going on with it.
Yeah.
Like there's like the water stuff's historical, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
A lot of intrigue, complex things that maybe my 20-year-old self was like, I don't get what's going on. Play
Yeah.
video games.
Right.
So I think it's going to be a good experience for me.
I predict that I will like it more than I did the first time, in that maybe I'll remember something about it.
Sure.
But I also really am sure that I'm going to have to go home and watch an episode of Adventure Time or the Colbert Report
To like feel
or
better.
something to like be able to feel okay.
Yeah.
I think it's really devastating. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I remember really liking it, but I was also like much more cynical at that age. So like I might be more like you now, where I'm like way more affected by the downer elements than I was when I first saw it. So I might be like, I probably still appreciate it for what it is, but I might be like much more like, oh man, I really wish I didn't watch this after the most oppressive weather imaginable for the last like week and a half.
Yeah.
Not to date the episode, but it's been very gray for like a week and a half,
Now
and
we're
it
watch
is
a movie in
harsh.
sunny LA.
Yeah, but this like that the sun. It's like ironic sun because like it's so cold and dark in LA. You can't even hug a woman without feeling like she's gonna stab you in the back. Right?
Yeah, that
Noir.
sounds like a line for the movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like it more because I cannot remember anything about it. So I feel like you can't like anything less than
Not remembering
not
it.
remembering it.
You can remember that you hated it.
Like, do you
I
remember
don't-
even
I
how you
don't
felt about it?
know.
Okay.
This was just a checkbox in
Yep.
your quest.
That is exactly how. Yeah. So right now I'm like indifferent about
Yeah.
this movie. It was like, oh, I saw the movie.
Yeah.
Cross it off.
Maybe this is a lesson about the heartless quest of just filling out a list to experience art
It's true.
and to just let the art,
Come to you.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm glad that we're revisiting it because now I can feel like I really checked this off the list.
Yeah.
Forget about it, Beth. Just a list.
Good one.
And with that, we're going to hit pause on this recording. We're going to go watch the movie, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Totes Recall. We have just watched Chinatown. The saddest movie ever made.
That is not true,
That's not
but
true.
real bummer
Yeah.
regardless.
The ending was a big time bummer.
Big time bummer.
Yeah, Molly definitely called it. That was a dark ending.
Yeah. Worse than even you or I remembered it being.
It's true. It was so much more sinister and creepy and gross.
And just like, it was like the
Hopeless.
film equivalent of someone just being like, whoa, what's the point? And like dumping out the novel they just spent their life like into the garbage, lighting the garbage can on fire, throwing the garbage can in the ocean, and then
it hitting an innocent dolphin
Exactly.
in the head. And the dolphin's a mother to two cubs that die.
Are they called cubs if they're dolphins?
They can be.
Okay.
Calves.
Oh, I was imagining.
Calves.
I was imagining that the dolphin had raised bears. In that scenario.
Oh,
And then they were water bears. And
Right.
they
Oh.
learned to breathe underwater. Well, not breathe underwater, because
Yeah.
dolphins can't do that either.
No, they're
but
mammals.
hold their breath for a long time. That's what they can do.
I'm a bear. Slap. I'm a dolphin.
Slap. Bear. Dolphin. I'm a bear and a
I'm really
dolphin.
surprised none of us remembered what is, now that I remember, now that we've seen it again, like that is actually probably the most famous part of that movie.
That's
Yeah.
the iconic scene.
The iconic like slap-a-do, sister-daughter.
The reveal, we find out that the apartment lady...
Who?
Wait, who is the apartment lady?
She is Catherine, the daughter
Okay.
/ sister.
So, the apartment lady is...
But I feel like for the first half of the show, we were operating under the assumption that apartment lady was Faye Dunaway.
Okay.
Which is not
That's
true.
That's not true. Yeah.
That is not true.
The main female protagonist, we find out that she's protecting her daughter,
Yes.
who she had with her father. Her
Yes.
father is also the father of her daughter. Incest.
Yes.
Hashtag incest.
Yes. And it's not...
What have I done?
I don't know. Were we supposed to take away that her husband was not actually having an affair with
Oh, no,
Catherine?
not at
He was
all.
just taking care of her from afar?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was just a sweet person
Yeah.
who would check in on her.
Okay.
Did he know the whole story?
Yes. Because she said
Oh,
she
because he
put
came
him
down to
through
Mexico
it. Yes.
and found her. Yes. Okay.
And that's why he was arguing with her father, Noah Cross.
I feel like they were arguing about a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Because based on the end of that movie, it seemed like they had a lot of stuff they disagreed on. Like the whole extorting the city of Los Angeles for
Yeah.
water.
I guess that's the B plot? A plot.
I don't know.
I don't know if this has an A and B plot.
I feel like
It
it's
was
just sort of
D
like
for
a...
depressing.
Yeah, it's
plot.
sort of just like a slog through the horrors of 1930s urban development.
Yeah.
Which is another thing. It was made... When was it made? Did we ever figure that out?
1974.
74.
Aha.
Oh,
Who nailed it? Let's see who nailed it.
no one did. We had a
Well, what's
75 and a
Price is Right?
76.
Beth was 75,
Yep.
and I was 76. So we were both very close.
Yeah.
Beth was close.
But the movie does not take place in the 70s.
No, which I thought it did.
Me too.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh. You could have said that.
Sorry.
That would have been the
I
one
missed
thing.
that part.
Yeah.
No, because I didn't think it took place in the 70s because of that suit. He's wearing like a hat and a suit.
Yeah. All the dudes are wearing the hats that dudes wear in the 30s.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fedoras.
Fedoras.
I didn't remember the
Yeah.
hats. I just remember the suits. And that was a perfectly acceptable color of suit at any decade.
I can't believe I didn't remember the cars. They were beautiful.
They were beautiful.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, it's Roman Polanski, so I mean, he's no slouch. It was beautifully shot and a story that was incredibly told. And I also appreciated that he had a couple of shots where you were just literally sort of, or your perspective was sitting in the back seat of these really amazing 1940s cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of different shots that were like were really interesting, like the rear view mirror. There was one through binoculars. There was another one
It was
With a camera.
Yeah, you were
camera,
seeing the
yeah.
reflection off the front of the camera.
Yeah, that was
lens.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not remember those, and now I will forever.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like those came all real close to the beginning, like he was almost kind of showing off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look at all the different shots I can do on
Right.
Roman Polanski.
Yeah, and also I'm gonna be in my movie.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
we were correct.
We were correct.
He shows
does
up,
cut Jackie N's nose.
Yeah.
We did forget to predict, which we all remember just as it was about to happen,
The
that there
great
would be
wordplay?
a great
Yeah.
wordplay moment.
Yeah.
Hey, kitty cat, you know what happens to nosy people? They lose their noses, and then sha-sha!
Yeah.
Knife in the nostril, which is, ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, that was. Well, as we established earlier, I didn't remember like anything about this movie. But as we were watching it, I was remembering it. I was like, "Oh yeah, there's that thing."
I didn't even have that.
It was like I was recognizing things, but maybe not. I couldn't predict what was going to happen next. It was still suspenseful. It was a very suspenseful movie.
Yeah, I definitely see this movie. I'm not 100% convinced I finished it. Because there came a point where I was like, oh yeah, that scene. Oh yeah, that scene. And then that ended maybe like 20, 30 minutes from the end. And then it was like all new to me. Even the intense scene of slapping
Yeah.
Faye Dunaway around,
Yeah.
which you'd think I would remember
Yeah.
something like that. I was like, wow, no, I don't remember this at all.
Well, and watching that moment, knowing what the ending of the movie was, knowing the secret that she'd only partially revealed up to that point, it just made me hate Jake, the character, so much. It is
Yeah.
Jake, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The character is Jake.
Jake Giddes.
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 It is.
Yeah, I was wrong. His name is not Jack. Also, I got the famous quote not quite right. It's not forget about it, Jack. It's forget it, Jake.
Right.
Double wrong. There's no about, and his name is Jake. I'm convinced forget about it sounds better, though.
You think
Forget
so?
about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it, Jake.
Yeah.
It's Chinatown?
Yeah.
Forget about it, Jake. It's New Jersey.
Yeah.
Forget it. But forget it, Jake. That has like this, like,
Yeah,
cutting,
maybe when it's
like,
Jake, it's better. with
Yeah,
forget.
maybe that's what it was. You thought it was Jack, so you're like, it's got to be about in there.
Yeah. If you have a Jack, you have an about. Right?
Yeah.
That's just screenwriting 101.
Yeah. Man.
Someone was right that it was Faye Dunaway.
Me.
Yay!
Yeah.
Not Shelley Duvall.
And I'm
Sorry,
so
Mother.
embarrassed that, I mean, because Faye Dunaway has such an incredible performance.
And,
It's
like,
an
a very
amazing performance.
distinct look.
Yes.
She's got a look.
She got a look.
And I don't know why I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also want to say that I think within the first 2 minutes of the film, we had the answers to 80% of our questions.
Yeah, we remembered mostly from the beginning, or I guess the setup and stuff.
There was an office.
Yep.
There's an office. I killed it on the records office.
Yeah.
It went down exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, I was worried, because we should mention, there's a moment earlier in the film where Jake very deftly tears an obituary section of a newspaper.
Yeah.
Freehand. No
Yeah.
rulers involved. So I thought maybe you just assumed he had a tool because he was so good at it.
It was perfect.
Yeah. So I was actually kind of, maybe this is malicious. I was kind of secretly hoping that he would get to the records office and you would think he was going to get that ruler, but it turned out he was just so good at tearing it out.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
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 And that you would be like crestfallen that there was no ruler.
There's
And
just
then
movie magic.
all of us started coughing compulsively leading up to the part where he actually did tear the page out because all of us remembered around
Suddenly
the same
remembered,
moment,
yes.
that he does that to disguise the sound
Yeah.
from the librarian who seemed like a not very nice person.
No, he was a
He was a real
turd.
dweeb.
Big turd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like a stereotypical.
Sir, this is not a library. This is a public records.
A hall of records.
Hall of records. Jesus.
Well, he
I mean, he's right. Sure. But, yeah.
So, no vineyard, as Molly predicted. You were probably thinking of the orange groves.
I said orchard or something like that.
Groves.
So,
The orange groves.
The orange groves.
Which was, that was kind of intense.
Pretty intense.
He goes up to the orange groves to investigate whether or not water is actually being diverted there, which is the story he hears from the water guy.
Chief engineer of the water and power department.
Yeah, and he gets up there, and then it's like a horror movie. Like, every turn he takes, it's like hillbilly thugs with
It was
guns.
like Planet of the Apes. Like suddenly, like this guy comes out on a horse and like chasing after him.
Yeah, and then he gets just beat down with a crutch.
So many times. He gets
kind of like that guy was a little simple, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of like
I
a
feel
Lenny,
Sam.
Sam.
Because it seemed like there was that fast talking dude who was like kept shouting at the guy with the crutches, like "Shut up! Let the man speak!" or whatever.
When he was
civilized.
Gonna love him and pet him.
Yeah.
I can't believe that I forgot about that scene because after watching it, it's like so. The movie is very long and like it's very like there's a lot of detail, so it's kind of slow. I felt like it. Yeah. I mean,
it's a slow burn.
It was a very slow burn, and then all of a sudden that scene is like action. There's a car chase.
Yeah.
There's a horse.
Yes.
There's gunshots. The fight's pretty rough and tumble.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a kung fu fight,
like
but it's
Jason
like
Bourne.
pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It's like an actual fight. It's just like two dudes awkwardly like grappling and hitting each other.
Yeah, even at the beginning of it, the crutch dude
misses.
whacks his friend like straight in the back.
Who's fighting who right now?
And that was either like a brilliant choice to leave that, like keep that take, or brilliant direction on Rowan Plants where it say this would be way more realistic if you hit that dude at least once.
I mean, should we catch everybody up on what actually happens
Maybe.
in some kind of order?
Sure, you want to go over the plot?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right,
Jake.
We open on Los Angeles, 19-something.
30-something.
Whenever
The same year Seabiscuit
was doing stuff because there was a Seabiscuit headline on the paper as a hint to
Is
the
that
audience.
like an arty way? He's like, I don't like.
Probably.
Years at the
That's
bottom.
probably exactly what that was.
Only
Look
people
it
who
up.
know about Seabiscuit
Yeah,
will be able
that
to
is
tell.
probably exactly what that
And
was.
this was made prior to the film Seabiscuit, where most people learned about it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Very true. Basically, there's a beautiful moment. I mean, there's a whole scene with a guy who finds out that his wife has been cheated on, but then the very next person
cheating on him.
cheating on him. Yes, very good point. The different reaction.
He has been cheated
He
upon.
has been cheated on.
Cuckold.
He has been
Yes.
cuckolded.
And then it very quickly moves on to a woman who introduces herself as Mrs. Moray.
Yes.
And
Mulray.
Mulray, the chief engineer of the Water and Power Department
Yes.
of Los
She's a
Angeles.
Mulray.
And there's this beautiful moment where our detective Jake says, do you love your husband? Are you sure you want to find out?
Right.
And I feel that this is the moment in the film where basically we understand that if we want a happy ending, we should turn off the television immediately.
Right.
Yep.
It's a hint.
It's like, hey, bad news is a coming.
So that's like
Better to leave it.
the bookends summary of the film. It's like, hey, there's gonna be a bad ending, and then at the end, it's like,
Hey, whatever.
Hey,
It's Chinatown.
like,
Told
doesn't
you.
matter. You can't
It's
do anything about
Chinatown.
it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rough.
Pretty much.
Brutes.
But it turns out that this lady is not Mrs. Mulroney. Mulroy?
Yeah, Dermot
Yeah.
Mulroney. Beloved actor.
At all.
Burning bridges.
But Jake doesn't find that out until he takes some scandalous pictures of Mr. Mulroy
Yep.
and a young lady.
In an apartment.
And an apartment
The apartment
lady
Yeah.
who we assume or are led to assume he's having an affair with.
Yes.
Yeah.
He then meets the sultry and intriguing real wife,
Real wife.
played by Faye Dunaway,
Mrs.
Mulroney,
Mulroney.
who is basically like, hey, we've never met, dummy, so I'm suing you. And
Also, that was a terrible joke that took way too long to tell. That's
the
what she says
Chinese,
with her eyes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That was a scene that as I was watching it, I remembered watching it. Do you know what I mean? Like it. I was like, oh yeah, this thing.
he told a joke, and
where
the
he
classy
tells-
lady was behind him.
Yeah. Which I found to be. They were like, Jake, and then she walks into the room. Then they don't try to stop him from talking.
Yeah, like, well.
And then she just lets him finish the joke.
I'm pretty
like-
sure everybody wanted to hear the end of that joke.
Yeah. I was disappointed when we got cut off earlier because it's told to him by the barber.
Yeah.
and then it gets cut off, and we're like, oh, where's this? I want to hear this racist joke.
Yeah, we'll never hear this racist joke.
But then he tells it, and it's racist, but it's not as racist as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought the joke was going to be more like, haha, Chinese people.
Yeah.
But it was actually just, haha, your wife's fucking another guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It just happened to throw a few epithets in there for fun.
You could put any race, anybody in there.
You could. It's a universal joke, really. Okay. So, Faye Dunaway sues him, and he's like, well, I don't know. He doesn't really care, because he's Jake Gad.
Yeah. I don't care, I'm a PI.
Yeah. But he's still trying to find this lady. The lady she's Mr. Mulroy is cheating with, or whatever. He can't find her.
Say the last name 4,000
Whatever.
times.
He can't find her.
Mulray.
Macklemore.
He can't find Mr. Macklemore or the lady. And then, so he goes to his office and has his first of many sassy encounters with that man's secretary, which was delightful.
Oh, yeah. And sidebar, he's a good PI.
No, he's actually pretty sneaky.
Like, he's got a lot of cool PI tricks that it's like, oh, you want James Bond gadgets?
Here's a glove compartment full of watches.
Yeah, he opened a glove compartment, he's got just like a billion pocket watches, and we're like, this dude's crazy. What's he doing? But then he sets them to the same time and leaves one behind the car tire.
Yep.
So it gets smashed, and then that's the time the car left.
Classy.
That's really smart.
You can't do that with a digital watch.
That's right.
That's true.
Oh, you guys, the future's ruining everything.
Yeah.
It really
I'm going to
is.
go buy pocket watches.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to summarize this movie without it taking the runtime of this movie.
I think that was fine.
So he dies. Mr. Macklemore is found dead in the sea.
Accident.
Yes.
Yes.
Because they think he just like fell into the reservoir or whatever.
Which would have been fresh water.
Right.
Yeah.
But they find
Salt water in his lungs.
A point they bring up several times.
Just in case.
Yeah, but
we
later.
aren't clear on it.
But then basically, we find out that the father of Faye Dunaway is he's working with other people, right? It's not just him. He's got like
the
associates.
kingpin or whatever.
He's the kingpin.
Yeah, he's just
With
like
a
a
big
wealthy
cigar.
landowner.
Yeah. He's organizing people to buy up a bunch of land in the valley
Yeah.
for cheap, and then they're going to divert water there.
Yeah.
And then it'll be worth like 30 times that, and they'll sell it like a crazy rich.
Right.
Well, and even worse, they're going to put all the farmers out of business first. So
Yes.
they're
Yeah.
drying out all their crops. So they have
And
to leave.
they are buying the land under the name of a bunch of senile old people.
Yeah, who live in a anti-Semitic retirement community.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, Jake goes to the community, and he's like, again, being a great PI.
Yeah.
He's posing with Faye Dunaway as a couple trying to put their dad in a home.
Yeah.
And he asks, like, excuse me, do you accept people of the Jewish persuasion? Acting like his father is Jewish.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, no, we don't take those.
Which is-
that's great.
Right.
Is what he said.
Which I
Neither does
found.
my dad.
Yeah, which I found surprising because I had never considered that was an acceptable practice at any point.
Yeah, but this is the 30s.
Right.
This is pre-World War II.
Oh, so before we felt bad for the Jews in America. Is
kind
that
of.
how it worked?
I
Yeah,
think
I guess
so.
that's probably true.
The casual anti-Semitism was probably more prevalent.
That's probably true.
I still don't understand why that was an important fact for him to get out of the guy.
Oh, he
running
just
it.
wanted to look at the
Names.
names.
Oh, so he was
was-
just being like, hey, this is something we have in common. We're both anti-Semites.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well-
want to be
Okay.
able to check your ledger to make sure there aren't any Jewish names.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
part.
he basically pushed the anti-Semitism a little further
was like-
as saying, "I don't trust you, sir. I would like to see your ledger full of Jewish names."
Yes. I would make sure there's no Goldbergs on there.
Right.
Or else I'll never bring my dad here.
Or whatever.
And instead, they do a walk around
Yep.
and they find that the patient's first and last names are written neatly
On
in
the
cursive on the activity
itinerary,
board.
yes.
That's a little too easy of a slam dunk for him.
That was actually something I wrote down, of like all the like helpful wall hangings Jake encounters throughout his investigation. Because when he's in Macklemore's office, like there's a series of like chronological photos of him and Faye Dunaway's dad with their names clearly labeled on the picture, and like showing them like building dams and shaking hands in front of things.
like a montage of still photographs.
Yeah.
Photographs.
Yeah.
And then there's another obvious thing in there where he just finds out Faye Dunaway's middle name is Cross.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sees the picture on the wall. And then, like, the next scene, not much time has passed. And it says cross. He takes out the envelope and, like, points at the sea. Oh, I remember now. Cross. Yeah. That's a little heavy-handed, but that's fine.
I feel like maybe even Roman Polanski was like, look, this thing clocks in at over 2 hours.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure people are following along while I do all my showy atmospheric shots.
Yeah.
Oh, and all the sound atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like, that was a rich soundscape that they created.
And it included many animal sounds.
Mm-hmm.
The first part of the movie has so many
A
animals.
lot of animals.
Yeah.
It's a horse.
Many horses.
There's a whole court scene where like a bunch of sheep.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's like protest sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a cool thing.
You'd think you would remember a scene like that. But
Yep.
no.
There were a lot of scenes like that where as soon as they happened, you're like, I can't believe I forgot this was put to film.
Yep.
This scene was filmed.
That guy had a BA staff.
Yeah, it was made out of a ram's horn.
Like a ram horn at the end. Like
he's
was
like a wizard.
Yeah. So then the end of the movie, Jake puts it all together eventually.
Yeah, through a little unnecessary aggression towards Faye Dunaway.
Yeah, he really
shameful.
slaps her a lot.
I mean, like, I understand the idea behind it is like he assumes that she is like part of the whole thing, pulling a fast on him. He's so frustrated.
I think she literally murdered her husband in their backyard, in their saltwater pond.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's key.
Yeah.
The pond is saltwater, which, interestingly enough, if that helpful Chinese man who was their landscaper had just said that line the first time he was in their backyard, he might have put that together a little earlier.
Yeah, but Jake's probably too racist.
Yeah.
Already, it's like, oh, they don't know.
He kind of makes fun of him because he's like, oh, it's bad for the glass.
Right.
Because L and R is sometimes difficult for those learning English.
Especially in
come from an Asian background.
1930s.
And so he just sort of makes fun. He's like, yeah, bad for the glass.
Right.
Ignore all
I
that.
got a joke about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me tell you this 20-minute joke. Yeah. So he puts it all together.
He pieces it all together, and you realize that Faye Dunaway's character is trying to save her daughter.
Yes.
And he does a bunch of very clever things to make that happen. And just when you think Faye Dunaway and her daughter are going to get out of there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
Jake's
goes
being
horribly
dogged by the
wrong.
police the whole time because they've also figured out that Mr. Mahaney was murdered.
Yes.
And but they're like a couple steps behind him the whole way.
And I think they still are at least partly. I think they still at least partly believe that Faye Dunaway murdered him, and Jake is working with her.
Right.
She is paying Jake to cover up that evidence.
Right.
Yeah.
So they show up at the end and like cuff everybody.
Like everybody.
Yeah, as Faye Dunaway and her sister daughter are getting out of there.
Yeah.
And then they like peel out. And
and the creepiest part is that her father just gets very uncomfortably close to her.
Yes.
And is really clearly trying to force himself emotionally, if nothing else, on his granddaughter/daughter. And Faye Dunaway pulls out a tiny, adorable rhinestone
glittery,
gun.
right?
Glittery
Yeah.
gun. Yeah. But she pulls out a gun, so any hope she might have had of being perceived as innocent, it pretty much goes out the window when she shoots at her father. And I couldn't tell if she hit him in the arm or
she got him, but like real bad.
Like grazed, just a graze.
Yeah, just grazed him, which is a shame.
Yes.
Because then she takes off driving, and though Jake tries to stop the officers from shooting, one of them does a final shot and shoots Faye Dunaway's character basically through the head and out the eye.
At the eye.
Rough.
Yeah.
Just super rough.
And all you hear is like a long car horn
Yes.
in the distance.
Yes.
Like she is on the horn. That's,
And then
over
the shrieking of an innocent girl.
Yeah. It's
life is shattered. And then the worst part, like just as you're like, well, this is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
She's lost her mom. And then you see that creepy Mr. Cross come and like just put his hand over her face and like pull her from the car, and you realize because of the beautiful way they structured everything else in the movie that he was never going to be charges would never be pressed against him, and that he was going to end up with her, and she's at the same age that her mom was when she was raped. like 15.
Yeah.
I know, it's so bleak, you guys.
It was real. Like, it was way worse than we remembered.
And they do. I feel like that moment of like the grandpa dad taking his granddaughter.
Yeah.
Wasn't. It was done like it's super creepy, but it was done well. Like it wasn't the focal point.
No,
of
it was
the
just
scene.
one thing happening within the scene.
And he did a good job
my
of
God.
being like controlling, but not overly violent with it.
Yeah.
So
He was like shielding her from the gruesome crime scene,
but also being, like,
very deliberately pulling her away.
Like, you are mine now.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
It was well done, but also creepy. I'm getting shivers.
I know.
Yeah.
It was
While you're
rough.
looking at Faye Dunaway's like blown out eye,
Yeah.
she like falls out of the car.
Yeah, and then you spend the rest of the movie, it's only like another 40 seconds, just looking at Jake like staring dead-eyed at the chaos that has occurred in front of him.
Because this is why he left Chinatown in the first place. Because he
Right.
was trying to help somebody.
You can't help anybody in
can't
Chinatown.
help anybody in Chinatown.
Apparently.
Forget it, Jake.
Oh.
Chinatown. Credits and sexy horns.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, those sexy horns, which then, after that scene, immediately retroactively became very sad horns.
Yeah,
so
I want to
sad.
know if those horns were any different in that final
No.
scene, or
I
if
don't
just
think
our
they were.
perception of the horns
They
were
not
different.
Yeah.
They were like the exact same key, the exact same like riff.
Weird percussion.
Yeah.
So great movie.
Yeah. I mean, it was like
It
it's
was beautiful.
horrible. Like it really is like bleak as hell, but like it was beautifully shot.
Yeah.
There's some Cracker Jack lines in there. Like on a positive side, there were zingers aplenty, and I loved it.
They were good zingers.
I can't believe that I forgot about the zings.
So
They're
many.
so good. And they're so well written.
Yeah,
My this isn't really like a zing, but it's my favorite
doesn't
line.
matter.
My favorite line from the movie is when he gets into the like reservoir area and the detective or lieutenant or whoever he is asks him how he got in, and he said, "To tell you the truth, I lied a little," which I thought was such a great line.
yeah,
Yeah. And he's smoking a cigarette because he's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's not allowed.
Yeah.
What was he describing when he described it as faster than wind out of a duck's ass? Do you remember?
Like charges were going to be
Yeah,
dropped.
because
or
that was
something.
amazing.
Yeah, faster than wind out of a duck's ass is great.
Yeah.
So Beth's predictions. Prediction.
Posish predict.
Do, do, do,
Do,
do,
do,
do,
do,
do,
do,
do, do, do. There we go. I predicted 25.
Molly predicted 50. I boxed her out with a 49. And Dan predicted number 19 for this movie.
And the number was 19.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Linda
I am
nailed it.
killing it with this movie.
Wow.
Really is. But I did nail it. That one that what is the name of the movie? One Who Flew
One flew over
One-
the cuckoo's nest.
There is one.
There's
One of them
It
did.
flies
One Who Flies
up
was
over.
number 20. So they're
Aha.
just one apart.
So you were correct.
So I was correct. And I watched it before the other one.
Right.
So it was in the order that we
Oh
discussed
man! So if you
previously.
watch those movies in order, you get a double dose of bleak Jack Nicholson endings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Does that one end bleakly too?
Well, for Jack Nicholson, at least.
Yep.
Oh, he gets
it's-
shocked and then he's.
No, he has a full frontal
lobotomy. Yeah.
And he
Oh,
gets
no.
shocked too.
The movie essentially ends with him making the same facial expression in
Yeah.
both of them, which
Yeah,
is just
except
don't know what's happening.
yeah, except
Like, complete
at the end of Chinatown, there is not a gigantic Native American man who suddenly thrusts a pillow over his face and then breaks
yeah.
through a window with a drinking fountain. Spoilers for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's a
Right.
classic novel and
I've
movie.
seen it, and I don't remember any of that.
Pretty dark.
Ugh.
Yeah,
That movie.
that scene is pretty great at the end. I would say that scene's more uplifting.
Well, because it's
Someone's getting out.
someone's getting out. Chief has found some peace within himself and has brought peace in his mind, at least,
Yeah.
to one whatever Jack Nicholson's name is in that movie.
Probably Jack
Yeah, I'd go
No.
Jack.
or Jake,
No,
John.
Jim.
maybe Jim.
Bechdel test. Failed,
Maybe.
right?
No
Well,
way.
did she talk to Catherine at all? Did she talk to her daughter?
Oh.
I think no, because all she
Well,
said to
Catherine
her,
never talked back.
all she said to her on screen, like there was that part where you could see them talking through the window, but you couldn't hear them. But all she ever said to her on screen was, introducing her to Jake, and then telling her to get away from her father, Grandpa.
Yeah.
So they were always talking about men.
And Catherine only has like one line, like "Hello,
Yeah.
Jake."
And
That's like
screaming,
her only line,
and then
right?
just
And
shrieking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it failed, but it failed as I predicted that there would be more than one named female.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a little hopeful when Sophie, his secretary, was named early on in the movie. I was like, oh, maybe she'll talk to one of his other females who come into the office.
Yeah, they kind of exchanged pleasantries in the foyer.
But only one prostitute.
Yes, that was surprising.
That's true.
But she is murdered.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sad though, because I mean, she didn't reveal that much.
No.
Yeah, how did she
I
know
have a quick
stuff?
question. Was she a prostitute? Because we pointed out during the movie, she has a SAG card. Was she actually like a hired actress?
Well, she said she was a working girl over the phone to Jake.
So, but she could be
Oh,
acting.
maybe she was an acting girl.
Sure.
They did linger on that SAG card. So, and she didn't seem like a prostitute.
No. But maybe...
I don't know.
You can never tell, though.
I mean, guys, 1930s Hollywood was a very corrupt place. A lot of powerful men were exploiting young, pretty ladies who were just trying to make it in the biz.
Maybe she was both.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah. I don't get how she knew stuff.
Maybe she hung out with people.
She was hired by someone.
Yeah, I assume she was hired by Cross, right?
But maybe it was the kind of thing where she like hung out, you know, and heard things.
Okay.
Yeah. Why was she hired to get him involved with this?
Oh, to destroy Mr. Mahoney's reputation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe to find the daughter. Because
Ooh, yeah.
Noah wanted to find the
He wanted to
granddaughter.
find
So yeah, maybe it was to find her.
Maybe that's what that was about.
Maybe it was like a double whammy, where it was
Yeah.
like find the girl and then have an excuse for why he might like kill himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's true because we assumed that motive at the beginning.
Yeah,
That
like,
it was
we
about
actually.
discrediting him.
Well, and there was like I feel like there was like a good 5 minutes where Jake was following him around, where we just straight up assumed he was going to kill himself, and he was just like standing calmly on the shores of Los Angeles.
Yeah, but
waiting for
really
the
he was
water to come
investigating.
on.
He was
Yes.
sleuthing.
He was sleuthing too.
Oh,
Yeah.
they could have been friends.
They could have sleuthed
But
together.
yeah, but that makes so much sense. So they weren't setting him up to show that he was cheating. They were setting him up to find the girl.
Right,
Yeah.
I get it now. Oh.
guys, layers.
Whew.
But then she maybe found out that she had just been hired and then learned more and was like, this is dirty business.
Yeah,
I'm going to tip off Jake with names.
right.
Yeah.
What information did she actually
She
give him?
said, look in the obituaries.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And then in the obituaries was a crazy name. What was his name?
Oh.
Like Lemar Crab
Yeah,
Cake or something?
like that. Yeah.
There's
Oh, let's
crab
go with
in
Lemar
there.
Crab Cake.
Yeah.
Definitely not Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah, who led them to the non-Jewish retirement home?
Yeah.
Where all of the names that were used to buy land were.
Oh, because of the fish thing.
Right.
There's a whole fisherman's club.
Albacore.
Oh. You know, to be honest with you, this movie could have been way less complex.
Probably.
I think he could have tightened it up. We nailed it on the white clothes. He had that
Yeah.
white
Yep.
suit
Yeah.
when he
And
was
sometimes
sleuthing.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
He wore light colors, though, and the cops all wore dark.
Ooh.
Symbolism.
Yeah.
It was his former partner /
Yes.
coworker he had worked with in Chinatown.
But that's not who said forget it, Jake.
Nope, that was his.
Like his
That was
employee,
yeah.
I guess.
His operatives.
Yes.
as he called
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wonder if they had that on their business card.
Operative.
Yeah.
Operative.
I hope so. Oh, that's something that I feel like should be made mention. Business cards. One of Jake's incredible sleuthing skills was that he took the business card of Mulhooney's site, like or deputy or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like literally went to the reservoir and like a cop or a security officer was like, oh, no public access. And he's just like, oh, this is me. You know, like,
Here's my business
yeah,
card.
here's me. I work for the same county as you. Just look at it. And they're like, oh, go right in, sir.
Yep.
And
To tell the truth, he lied a little.
Yeah, that really was confusing to me because isn't the point of business cards is that you give them to other people, so anyone could have anyone's business card. That's how business cards work.
right.
So
Maybe
the fact
he,
that he
like-
was like, "Hey, this is me."
But he pulled out his stack, right? Because he had a bunch of them.
I thought he just took one.
And I think, no, he took a bunch.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Aha!
And in a hurry, too.
There you
And
go.
he covered it with his hat, like, to block what he was doing when he took them.
He is.
He did say with a lot of confidence.
No, that's part of it. I mean, that was a big part of it. He gave that Jack Nicholson smarm, and you're not going to say, you're not going to say no to that.
No.
Yeah.
A young Jack Nicholson just confidently hands you a business card and tells you what's what. You're not going to think he's lying.
This is making me think, though, of the morgue scene. And their dedication to realism was nice, but there was some
Oh, the corpse merkin?
exposed junk.
Yeah, the corpse. Yeah.
Yeah. I also thought it was interesting. I don't know why this interested me, but in the morgue, there's like full doors.
Yeah.
Instead of like, I'm used to movie morgues
Yeah.
being like a bank. You know,
It looked like
we
a
don't know.
stable. Like
Yeah, I think they were just like,
Corpse stable.
I mean, 1930s. They're just like, why don't we just build a couple doors and like refrigerate those chunks, And then later, some enterprising entrepreneur was like, what if we just stacked them,
You're losing your vertical space.
right? Right?
Yeah, it's just so grim. It's like high-density housing, but for bodies.
Yeah.
This movie's so depressing, you guys.
But what about...
So many levels.
Somebody had to have turned out okay in this one, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, the lieutenant. The lieutenant gets to keep his job because he's not going to try to take down Cross.
And
Yeah.
he thinks that he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, by sending home Jake, because he could just, like, get Jake all mixed up in it, but instead he sends him home. I'm doing you a favor, Jake.
Sure.
Yeah, is the lieutenant gonna find justice?
No.
Like, I feel like he was
No.
like once
Faye Dunaway.
him or the other cop blew away Faye Dunaway, he was like, all right, let them all go.
Yeah.
Essentially, like, we fucked up.
Right.
We
You
got
guys
Faye
are
Dunaway.
fine. Let's
It's
just
probably her.
everybody forget about everything that
I
happened.
think it
She
was
was
like,
armed.
I think it was basically like, you get out of here so I can have plausible deniability that you were involved in any of this.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Or something. Because, like, at some point he's going to have to file some kind of report, right?
But they can easily pin it all on her because they'll do the same pond thing.
Right.
But they'll say it was her because that's what's his name thought. Jake thought.
Yeah.
Oh, it's even sadder.
Yep.
Now she's like her rep. I mean, she won't care because she's dead, but,
But
like,
it's
she
just-
also gets her name dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she
Oh,
killed her
yeah.
husband.
No, it's like the worst possible ending. Like, it's a real...
Was the sister daughter? Did she suffer some of the effects of inbreeding? Like, was she simple in any way?
I
don't
don't
think
think
we
so.
were-
She just like screamed a lot and like was quiet. So I feel like I didn't get a sense of like.
No, I don't know if we were given enough
You
information.
were given an overwhelming sense of her innocence, though.
Yeah.
Certainly in her outfits.
She definitely was the first time well, not the first time you see her, but the first time you see her as the daughter, she's like having a panic attack or something and is supposed to be taking some pills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like something weird going on with her.
Yeah. I mean, but she found out that Houlihan died.
Oh, right.
Whatever
Right.
his name is.
Yep. Yep.
Which she maybe thinks is her
Thinks of her
dad?
as her father. Yes,
Does
she would have
know
every
what's going
reason
on?
to.
I don't think so.
No. Because even when her
But like a
creepy
secret
grandfather came with her, he's like, I'm your grandfather.
Wait.
And even he kind of stumbled over that word.
Yeah, it was like, I'm your father.
Can we just hope that like Jake regains his confidence and goes back and presents the evidence of the
No.
glasses that he
No.
has in his pocket?
He doesn't, though.
They got taken
They got
from her.
taken.
That's what started this whole terrible ending.
No,
is
it's
the old
so bad.
his old Bard, like the other private eye that was hired by Cross, came up to him, put a gun to his head, and took the glasses.
Yeah.
So Jake has no evidence at all.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's the worst ending. Beth.
Oh no. I had the glasses gave me hope. I was
No.
like, oh, he still has the glasses.
No.
Glass to half full.
You're right.
No, that was the first thing I did was take the glasses.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And that guy he beat up in the old folks' home. That's the same
Yeah.
guy, right?
Yep, same
Yes.
guy.
Yeah, because he
So
had a
he's not
bandage
doing him
under
any
his hat.
favors.
He had a bandage under his hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, you guys.
Yeah. But zingers, right?
Good zingers. Good sleuthing.
Great.
If I was going to hire a PI,
Jake Giddies. Giddies.
Jake Giddies.
Giddies?
Giddies.
I think it is like Ann Geddes.
Okay. But Jake.
But Jake.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's my theory.
It is.
Noah Cross keeps calling him by the wrong name.
Geets or something, right?
It's, yeah.
I kept on thinking he was saying
Yes.
Gibbs. But it was like
terrifying.
Gets. I know. I was like,
You don't want to meet that guy.
no.
And the way he ate that fish with the head still on it, what did that mean?
Oh yeah, that was a symbol of some sort.
Was it?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I think so.
Like, was it?
Yep. He likes. Yep.
To look them in the eye when he
Yeah.
destroys them?
Yeah.
Did they both have headed fish?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But you could only see Jake's
It's just more
to show
prominent
how
on Jake's
uncomfortable it was.
Yeah.
Oh, most important question that Beth posed.
Oh, did they bang?
I did.
They
Yeah.
totally
They
did.
totally banged. More. I mean, we didn't see them bang, but there was more than an implied bang. Like they woke up next to each other naked.
Not even woke up, it was just a
Smoking
smash cut.
cigarettes.
They
Yeah,
were
smash cut.
smushing their faces together
Yeah.
aggressively.
For-
Oh, you
Forever.
guys,
We saw
that
him.
kiss, because his nose
His
had
nose is-
earlier
yeah,
been
his cut
sliced
nose.
open. Like, it's
Ugh.
just being like, his nose is just being squished into
Like
Dunaway's
rubbed
eye.
into her face. Yeah,
Ugh.
it's gotta hurt real bad.
Yeah.
But he didn't care
He didn't
because
care.
one, he's BA. Two, he was so passionate
Yeah.
about that moment.
And
Faye Dunaway's a hottie.
and then the rest of the time, all he talks about is how tired he is.
Because he wanted to go home.
Yeah.
Because he's a cad.
Well, I think wasn't he starting to kind of suspect her at that point?
Yeah, she was acting strange.
Like that was after he
That's right, yeah.
figured
Oh
out Saltwater
no!
Pond.
Because after they banged, she got a phone call. It was just like very distraught. She's like, "I have to
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Don't ask questions. Stay
Yeah.
here." And of course, that's gonna.
that's not
Just
how
like,
Jake
it has
rolls.
nothing to do with any of the things that we
Right.
have
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, but I have to go right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being a great private investigator,
Yeah.
Jake thought, this is suspicious how she wants me to not involve myself in any way.
Let me go smash out one of her back headlights.
Yes.
That
on
was
her
another good
car.
sleuthing move.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's easier to follow.
A lot of his sleuthing involved like minor damage to glass.
That's true. That's true.
Seems to work so
I
well,
guess.
though.
Yeah.
Just remember that if you need sleuth, just break something small. It's finding order in the chaos.
Go ahead.
He's kind of like, what's his name? Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park, right? He's the chaos
Yeah.
theory guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep going.
So nothing's predictable. So you have to destroy something to figure out how it works.
Okay.
Just like the dinosaurs in
Mm-hmm.
the amber. You gotta destroy the amber, get
You're losing it.
the DNA out. Frogs, nature finds a way. Forget about it.
Forget it.
Forget it.
Forget it, Malcolm. It's Jurassic Park.
It's not too late to watch Jurassic Park.
Isn't it?
It's way too late.
Yeah, you're fading.
We should not watch movies that are over 2 hours.
But that cuts out a
That
lot
limits
of
us
movies.
to children's movies.
Or really shitty movies.
More action movies.
Oh,
No,
the
action movies are
opening
way too
animation
fucking
for
long.
this was just terrible.
Oh.
That's true.
A
This
classic
is a movie
crawl.
of the era where all of the credits happen before the movie. Well, not all of them, but all the
A good
acting
chunk.
credits.
Yeah.
And the directing twice and the producing twice.
Yep.
Well,
Before anything happens. You were not annoyed by that at all.
I don't know. I'm not put off by that because, like you said, like a lot of movies did that for
He was
like
enjoying
several
it.
decades.
He's enjoying the trumpets.
And I was enjoying the sexy, retrospectively sad horns.
Sure.
Los Angeles, whenever Seabiscuit was around.
30 something.
I handed the photos off to Rocky's deadbeat friend. It was that. Yeah.
Yeah, Rocky's deadbeat friend was in this as that was an awkward scene.
Oh,
So,
that was really uncomfortable.
the opening scene, the like establishing whatever.
I guess that Jake's good at his job.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I found that your wife's cheating on you, and then we move on with it. But then he comes back to that dude who's like, you owe me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, and his name was something like Squeaky.
Curly.
Early.
He's like a real like Italian.
Yeah. Hey, I'm
Jersey.
always wearing a tank top and
Yeah.
showing off my hairy shoulder.
Oh, and isn't domestic violence hilarious?
Yeah, but his wife answers the door with a big old black eye.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Obviously, we're led to believe he went home and just punched her in the face.
After getting the evidence.
Getting the
Yeah.
evidence.
But then he's like really. I mean, he's still like a gentleman about letting Jake into his home because like introduces his wife
Yeah.
to him.
This is the guy.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I know
Whoa.
who that is.
Yeah, that was super awkward.
That might have been another one of Polanski's like little hints of like, guys, this is gonna get really depressing real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe he just,
Get out
you know what I mean?
now.
Like he just threw that in there. Like this is the world this character lives in.
Hey, are
Get
you
ready.
a woman? It's not going well for you.
Right. Sorry.
Maybe the secretary is fine.
She seemed
I
okay.
hope
She
so.
seemed pretty good, and she
Sophie?
seemed like
She seems sharp.
she seemed sharp. She seemed confident in her place on the team. Because like he was like frustrated with her. Like, what is it, Sophie? And she's like, oh, I got this lady on the phone, and he's like, blah, 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 and dismisses her. But then she immediately rings him again. It's like you got to
She's
take
insisting.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Mhm.
I'm gonna say, let's say Jake, he goes home at the end of the movie. Jake, he goes home, takes a cold shower, goes into work the next day. He says, "I'm quitting the business, boys." He opens up his safe, where all of his nest egg is.
Yeah.
He divides it evenly for himself, the two dudes, and Sophie. And then he looks at Sophie, takes another stack of bills from his pile, puts it in Sophie's pile, and says, "You done good, kid." And then we black out, sexy horns, the end.
Much better.
Sophie
much
wins.
better.
And then Sophie goes on to start like a successful business. Let's say, I don't know, dog grooming? We want to go with dog grooming?
Something safe.
Something
It
safe.
would be nice for her to go into something safe. Maybe she becomes an accounting firm
Real
or
estate.
something.
What if she
Don't
becomes...
get into real
No,
estate
what
in
if she
LA?
becomes like a huge mogul and takes out old man Creeper?
No, she'll get murdered.
Yeah, she might get
Real
murdered.
estate is
probably get
serious
murdered.
business.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I like her opening an accounting firm.
Okay.
For legit businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She helps young couples find stable...
Yeah, maybe
Financing
she goes into
for-
like counseling. So instead of helping to find out that people's marriage are falling apart,
Oh, she's
She's like, you don't even
helps
want to
them
know.
mend.
Why don't we just mend going
Yeah.
forward? That would be really nice.
Yeah, let's say that's how it ends.
Chinatown 2, family counselor.
Oh, and maybe we should say apparently
Yeah, we
Jake
should.
versus Jake was apparently a real movie, and that was a sequel.
Like it was the same character? He was actually
I
playing
think
the
he
same
was
character?
actually the same character.
Who's the other Jake? In
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh.
No. Jake Gyllenhaal was not even a twinkle in somebody's eye probably when this movie was made. The two Jakes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, the point is,
Maybe Curly's real name is Jake.
Or maybe they're talking about like the old timey word for toilets.
What?
The Jakes.
That's a word for toilet?
Yeah. It is.
Jaquette's best.
Jakes is like term for toilet.
we'll have to make that
Like
up
they have to
next.
go dig the Jakes. That's what all the military
I've
people
never
always
heard
say.
this before in my life.
Oh,
something every
let's
day.
go put a nickel in the Jake box. Let's
What?
just make everything Jake.
Oh, I see. You're just being flippant.
I'm being
Yeah.
flipped.
Being rude. Sassy, rude lady.
Wow.
Well, so then what is the verdict? Did anybody like this movie more?
Yeah.
I did.
Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was depressing as hell, but I, like, could appreciate what... Like, I could see why it's, like, considered this, like... You know,
Number 19.
It's, like, held on a pedestal as, like, this achievement in film. Because it was, like, a really wonderfully made movie, even if it was bleak as hell.
Yeah. It was way more memorable this time. Watching it.
Right?
Yeah.
You say that now,
actually-
but if we do this again in 2 years,
I know.
Let's make a pact.
Okay.
We'll
years from today.
revisit Chinatown in a
No,
couple years
no.
and see how much we remember.
No.
Okay, we'll do.
Do you think we forgot about it? At the end, they tell you to forget it. It's Chinatown.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's like Men in Black.
No one remembers this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Roman, you deviant. For multiple reasons, but
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I was right that the
Oh.
alleged sex crime happened
Yep.
at Jack Nicholson's house.
yes,
Good.
but he was
Yeah.
not present.
Good fact.
Correct?
and
he was not present, and the girl's mom was there, and it was supposed to be a photo shoot.
Yeah. And then other things happened.
Other things
There's
happened.
a fascinating documentary. I don't remember what it's called.
What is it called?
But it gives you the whole scoop on that, on his wife getting murdered by the Manson clan,
Oh, yeah.
on I don't know. Like that's the only reason I remember the nose cutting thing is because they showed that scene in the documentary for some reason.
Oh,
'cause he
yeah.
does
Because
it, I
Roman
guess.
Polanski's actually
'Cause
in
it
it.
was
It's
a-
one of the few films he was in,
Yeah,
I think.
because the documentary was about. It was like about him in general. It was about his films and all this crazy shit that happened.
But I think it did a really good job of looking at the justice system and
Yeah.
how, because when you first watch it, you think, oh, well, this guy was totally guilty and
Fuck
trying,
this guy.
yeah, and he left this country because he didn't want to face justice. But when you start going through the case, you realize how vicious the prosecution was in how little they cared even about the victim.
Yeah.
And how there was no chance at all he was going to get a fair trial.
Yes.
Because he did everything that was asked of him. He went to like a rehab center for a long time.
Yeah.
Did all of these steps. And at every point, he was basically lied to.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that
was,
any of the other stuff was okay, but
right.
it definitely it was like a beautiful documentary in that it opens up your mind to a whole layer of complexity.
Yeah. Because it kind of became like, it started with, fuck that guy. But then it sort of became like, well, fuck all those guys. Because everyone was kind of, acting.
It was like Chinatown.
Weird. It was like Chinatown.
Everybody's dirty.
Yeah.
Is it called Forget About It, Polanski? It's justice system. I don't know.
I can't remember. It doesn't matter. You can probably just Google like Polanski documentary.
Because I don't think there are that many.
No, and I think his name is in the title.
Yeah.
So
cool. I like this movie more than the first time I watched it. I think in part because I am a little better able to understand the complexities
for sure.
of both the story and the filmmaking, but also watching with other people instead of like alone, I could check in and be like, what's going on? Like I did that quite a bit. It's like, who is this character again? Why do we, whatever. But I thought it was a good sort of place in the mystery genre of like giving away enough, but not too much. Like I feel a lot of times it's either really obvious or like the twist at the end is so huge that it's like, why did I even bother thinking about it? There's no way you're going to figure it out. But the sort of facts were metered out pretty evenly and still surprising, but not super surprising. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It was like
excellent
balanced
pacing.
Yeah.
Despite, I mean, it's very long, but it's very well paced.
Yeah. So I liked it quite a bit. But yeah, real dark. Probably wouldn't watch it again for a while.
Yeah. Yep.
Or at least like if I watch it again, it'd be like on a beach at like 2 p.m, maybe like kind of half in the bag, where like I could maybe like read a book and think if I didn't want to look at it anymore.
Just check in with the sleuthing.
Where are you watching movies on the beach?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
He's got like an iPad 4.
I was just trying to find the opposite of the scenario that I find myself in now, where it has been 12 straight days of basically no sun and like not quite freezing but not pleasant weather. And we decided to watch one of the most depressing movies of all time.
Yeah, I think I definitely appreciated it a lot more. And I'm so glad this movie exists. I hope I never have to watch it again.
But we will in 2 years' time.
So check back in. Until then, forget about it.
Forget about it,
listeners.
Thank you for listening to Totes Recall. New episodes drop on the 15th of every month. You can find us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Totes Recall Pod. Subscribe on iTunes and leave a review. It helps more people find the show. Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. For more information, check out noisepicnic.com/totesrecall.